drive to home?
Yeah, just killed some back and a little bit of cardio. Felt good. It's just so damn cold, man. It's hard training in the cold.
Wait, how cold we talking?
Let's see. On my car, it says 55, but it's a little bit warmer today than it has been the past couple days, past week or so. But the gym's freezing, and then it's like you sweat, like you get a pump and you sweat, and then boom, it's gone.
See, like 10 years ago, I would have laughed and be like 55 is cold. But now I've been in LA so long that yeah, 55 is cold as hell to me now.
Yeah, because you're from New York,
Yeah, yeah.
snowing and shit. You
New
gotta
York,
shovel out your.
55 in New York, we popping out in shorts. We popping out in shorts in
I'm sure you could, but man, I can't.
Nah, nah.
It gives me flashbacks. It's like when
Um,
you're tanning and you get done tanning and you're just sitting there in the fans.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what it feels like. It's painful.
It'd be cold as hell. Let me take out my. It sounds like I got like a lisp or something because I got my Quest strips in. I'm gonna take it off. Let me move the camera so it's gonna look nasty. Nah, fuck it. Who cares?
But
This is no edits. They don't like when I edit shit, so I can't
at
edit.
least you take care of your teeth.
Yeah, facts. I want to get veneers. I
Ouch.
just I'm like obsessed with like perfect teeth. Not that my teeth are bad. What do you think?
Yeah, you have good teeth.
But I want it to be. But here's the thing. I mean, if it's too white, it's gonna look kind of weird.
I feel
Especially
like the the process of getting them done seems scary because they have to like file every tooth down.
they do. They do. They got a version in Mexico that they don't have to do that. But it just seems it seems sketchy to me. It seems sketchy to me. You know. And I felt like I just like for the teeth to be uniform, but the whiteness, because of my complexion, I actually don't need it to be that white because then it looks too crazy, right? And like for you would
Then they
have to
look
probably
fit.
go whiter.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. It would look because you see someone like the actors, like the dark skin actors, and they smile and it's like, what the fuck? It like fucking blinds you. You're like, goddamn. So you got to be careful. I don't really need more whiteness. I just want it to be completely straight. Like it's just I don't know. I want it just to look uniform. But even with that, if you overdo that, that shit looks fucked up. So it's probably. I mean, listen. The truth is that nobody cares. Nobody looking at my teeth. Nobody. We. You always got to come back
I get it
around.
all the time. Everyone says how pretty like my smile is, but honestly, I do need to go to the dentist and get a good cleaning done. But the amount of smoke and coffee has tainted my teeth, I would say.
Yo, just the food alone. Think about as much food as we eat. You know that takes a toll. That takes a toll on your teeth. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We eat at least 3 times the food that normal people our size would eat. So it's like all that constant chewing really fucks with you at the end of the day. But we chose this road. Did I send the links out?
Um,
Let me see. Let me make sure I sent all the links out. But how's your prep going?
Pretty damn good. I can't lie. I had like a turning point yesterday morning because me and my coach we had a little discussion and I made some. We collaborate together. I would say I let him control me, but I like to collaborate. That way, I feel like I have somewhat of control too because again, I know what works for me. And when I say things are like instinctive, like it's like when I lay down, if something's not right, my body is just anxious. And there was something, I was feeling like something was needing to be changed. And him and I had a discussion and we manipulated my diet yesterday. And after just manipulating it to what works for me, it's almost like my body just relaxed. And now it's just, it's clicking even more.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody, nobody's gonna know your body like yourself. If you have the experience, right? So it's like beginners probably shouldn't try this, but like where you're at, you always gotta have final say. You know, you always have to get final say because there's things that you know about yourself that nobody else knows, and there's things that you're gonna feel that no other person can feel, right?
For sure.
You don't see yourself once a week or twice a week. You see yourself all day, every day. You know, when you go to look in the bathroom mirror, when you're at the gym, you see yourself pumped, you see yourself flat, you see yourself tired, stressed, everything. So you know how your chest detail looks at 4 weeks out more than anybody. So if you're behind, you know. If you're ahead, you know. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
if you're experienced, it has to be some kind of collaboration, or that's what's going to be best. You know, that's what's going to be best. If you
Yep.
if you talk to any like top person, they'll tell you like, yeah, they have a big part in their own prep as well, because you kind of have to. You know, you kind of have to. You know.
Like for instance, I was like my protein portions were at 4 ounces. To That's what they've been. And I don't really go over 5 ounces. But I told my coach, I was like, I feel like there's something missing. Like I need more meat. Like I could just tell that
Yeah.
my body needs more meat, not more carbs or more fat. I just need a little bit more meat. So he was
Mhm.
like, okay. He bumped it from 4 to 6. So I went up to 6 ounces. So I ate my first meal, and I texted him as soon as I ate it. I said, all right, 6 ounces is way too heavy. Like it
Mhm.
just doesn't. It's sitting too heavy in my body. Six. If I eat a couple more meals with the 6 ounce portions, I know that's just going to be too much. So then we made another manipulation. I'm sure he hates me, but
Yeah,
everything works, and it matters for the long run. I just
it
don't.
does.
I don't want to. I don't want to have to like. I'm trying to get ready early because when I'm ready early, that's when it works best for me. Instead
Yeah,
of just
yeah,
trying to land the plane on a certain date. So
yeah, yeah. How's your but do you do cardio like regularly?
yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
I've been actually increasing it simply because I feel like when I look at myself, I know that I need more cardiovascular activity, more sweating. So I do like 40 to 50 minutes in the morning, but really I don't look at it as 50 minutes. I look at it as I go in and I walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes to wake up and start warming up. And then I'll go to the bathroom and then I come back out and then I do my actual session of cardio where I'm like going hard for 30 minutes or so. But it's like a 20-minute cardio warm up, piss break, and then I attack my cardio because if I'm just strutting, that doesn't do much for me. I need like running and intervals within my cardio to
Yeah, yeah.
produce the results.
As muscular as you are, you're still a small person. You know, you're like a small person. So I feel like sometimes, like if you're 300 pounds, right, you could walk in slow motion and still get your heart rate up. You know, high. You know, that's why you see guys like, oh, I just do 2.5 and shit. But I feel like at your size, even though you're muscular, you're not gonna feel that shit. If you're doing the slow walk, you're not gonna feel shit probably.
It
You
doesn't do
said,
shit for me, straight up. It's just doesn't do shit for me.
yeah, yeah. That, when
But you on the other hand, you could get away like if you got on the stairmaster level 5 to level 7 maybe. But me, I got to
yeah,
go up to 10 to 12. Like I got to get that bitch going. And I've been recently
yeah.
checking my heart rate like with the handles just to gauge. And I know my body. I know when I'm huffing and puffing, my heart rate's up in the 170 range, 150. But again, when I'm just walking on an incline, it's around 120 to 140. So in order to like produce the sweat, I gotta get the heart rate up into the 170 range. And
Mhm.
that takes it's hard. It's actually last year, the past couple of years, I've been running, like sprinting. But this year it's different. I'm fucking heavy and I'm like, damn, I'm bigger, but I still gotta fucking haul this ass. So
Yeah, yeah. The issue with the treadmill is if I'm going like, well, fast for me is different from fast for you, but even like a fast walk, if it's over like 30, 40 minutes, it starts to my ankles and shit starts to get sore, my knees start to get sore from the weight. So Sometimes I do treadmill in the beginning of prep when if I could get my heart rate up over like 140, 150, just doing like a three speed, maybe six incline, I'll fuck with it. But once I get to a point where I can't get my heart rate up on treadmill, then I have to do like elliptical just because there's no impact. You know, bike there's no impact, but it's really hard to keep my heart rate up high on a bike. I got to go crazy on that shit just to keep my heart rate up. You know, because
What
you
kind of shoes do you wear when you walk on the treadmill?
you know me, I usually wear the Crocs.
Okay. Well, honestly, I think it matters because I have some like actual running shoes from Nike, and they're a little bit like more cushion on the bottom, and they make my feet cramp up. So my I wear the Vapor Maxes,
Yeah.
and those don't hurt my feet, but depending on what shoe you wear, I think that could matter too. But the Crocs are
So
probably good.
so many people tell me about the Crocs that it's gonna like hurt my feet and ankles and stuff. I find it super comfortable for some reason. What's up, DT?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Can you
What's
hear
going
us?
on? Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
up?
Okay. You got
You good?
you guys familiar with each other?
That's my
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
boy.
Oh, there you go. Okay, it's my world. Hey, where you live, DT?
I live in Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh shit, oh fancy Boca. Damn. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not. It's not like that, but yeah, it's just we
Okay.
stumbled upon out here. I used to live in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Just moved a little north, and we landed in Boca. Listen, there's no gyms down here. Okay, so
Well,
Good
I
point.
got to go to Redcon.
There's only one. Yeah, I was gonna say there's only one gym, really.
Well, in I would say in West Palm, I would say Fort Lauderdale area. There's no really good gyms. So Redcon is the gym. Then you go a little north, and then you can get to Raw and Revive, or whatever it's just called Raw now. But it's that's like an hour and a half away. So
That's a lot. That's a
I'm
lot.
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to LA Fitness.
there's no amped fitnesses by you.
No,
Okay.
no. That's West Coast.
How far are you willing to drive for a good workout on a regular basis, not special occasions?
I would say probably 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
I think that's because, I drive an hour to work every day. Sometimes, with traffic and stuff, hour and a half. So my commute's long enough. So when it comes to a point where you're just like, hey man, I got to get into a good workout, but I do want to get in and out. If you're on prep too, you know how it is where you're just like, everything's timed out, everything's time managed. And then if you hit traffic, the workout get extended. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I go to the gym, people are like, hey, how's prep going? How do you feel? Like they start with the questions and you don't want to be rude, but unfortunately depends where you are in prep as well.
100%, yeah.
If you're
Bro,
close to that.
if you the big guy at the gym, people just say random shit like just to talk. Like no offense, I think we appreciate that people want to talk to us, honestly. But at the same time, sometimes it's just the randomest conversations, bro.
It is. And I feel in today's society, where we all are in our fitness journeys, right? It kind of paints the picture for who follows you and who sees you at the gym. So I get very annoyed when people talk to me at the gym, but I also want to embrace it because, 10, 15 years from now, ain't no one going to want to talk to me no more.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
And no one's going to care about DT and what you're doing. And, oh, you're not going to get the you look greats. You might get the you look great for your age. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
You look healthy. You're looking healthy, DT.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a point where we all start looking at it. And I'm a little older. I'm 35. I just turned 35 this year. So when I start to visualize, like, dude, I'm at the back half, like, there ain't much left.
Yeah.
We're not trying. We ain't getting to Olympia. We ain't going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My years are behind me, more in front of me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I sit there and I'll take the extra minute or two to talk to somebody.
Right.
because I know one day it's never going to happen again.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
also, this is what we want. Like you said, 10, 15 years from now, but 10, 15 years back, we wanted to be that guy. You know, we wanted to be that guy that everybody wanted to talk. And we probably all had experiences where we talked to that guy, and maybe that guy wasn't that pleasant. You know, so
Yeah.
definitely, I definitely always make sure I'm pleasant. It's not that I don't have to force it, but I'm pretty chill. But like I'll be training my client, and people will just tell me random shit, and I'll be yeah. I don't want to offend my client, but I also want to show everybody some attention, you know, in that kind of way, you know. So,
Like,
mhm.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about listening, like how, because I'm not a pro. I would love to get my pro card, but it's like, you know, when she gets ready for a show, you know, going to do this thing that is your career in a sense. This is what you do, right? So I don't know if you even have the time to slip up and say, "Hey, thanks a lot," or you just kind of keep it short. Like, what's your kind of operation for going to the gym during prep and trying to get some money and qualify?
I mean, I'm sure people call me a bitch straight up because of how I act in the gym, but the way I function creates my success. So, like, I have a training partner now, and even with him, it's like, cut the talk. Like, we ain't got time to talk. Like, it's my set. We gotta go. We gotta go. It's almost like I have like an anxious feeling, and the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to like let that guard down and have those conversations. But the thing is when it becomes too repetitive and it's now a daily occurrence, it's now something that I'm like anxious about because I'm expecting something to interrupt my momentum or distract me, or again, it becomes a pointless conversation. Like, I'm huffing and puffing, and you're over here. I really don't even know what you're talking about because I'm so zoned out. But I just I don't let people talk to me. I just try to avoid it entirely. Entirely, I don't let it approach me at all. When people do approach me, again, in the comments, people are going to say I'm a bitch or don't ask me how many sets I got left. But when someone approaches me, I just simply just avoid it because I don't have the energy to even say, hey, not today, because I don't know how to come off nice about saying something that could be taken like rude. So
Yeah,
if I have to, and it becomes like, and I was telling this girl, this lady, she's like in her 40s. She was like, yeah, I know, I got to read the room. And there's certain people that can read the room and tell. And then there's other people that I believe they are selfish in the simple fact that they want attention on themselves by approaching me and creating a conversation that I don't want to have, again, because I'm clocked in at my day job. That's, again, how I see it. But I'm trying not to be so uptight because I don't want to be angry. Not that I've ever been angry, but it's like it gets aggravating when I can um, see it about to happen. Like, when I'm seeing something about to happen and I'm trying to avoid it, it just gives me more of an anxious feeling. And then it's like I'm trying to battle that within myself so I don't let it continue on throughout my preps this year. But if someone's like staring and watching, and because I'm taking my shirt off and posing for my camera and just checking myself out, and then I can notice them staring like hardcore to the point where they're going to approach me and say something, I just try to give them some knocks, say thank you, and let it go and keep it moving. I try not to like leave that door open for a longer conversation. I try to show some respect in return and then keep it moving. And this is something I'm practicing. It takes practice. Every time a situation occurs, I just try to gauge it and figure it out and go about it professionally. Because again, I don't want to be perceived as an asshole because I'm really not. I just take what I do very seriously. And again, I'm not trying to be just the Texas Pro Champ or this or that. I'm trying to be the best in the world. And it comes a point in time where you can't have those conversations. There's people like Samson Dauda, Sarah Villegas, fucking Derek Lunsford. They've all created their own facilities for
for a
this
reason.
reason.
Yeah.
For that reason, straight up.
Yeah, that's a good point DT brought up because he was making it like there's a difference between you being a top pro in your division versus where me and DT are at, right? Because we take bodybuilding serious, right? But it's still okay. We do make money from bodybuilding to some extent, but it's more of a passion for us, right, than anything. So like, I can sit there and I mean, sometimes if I add it up, it might be 40 minutes extra in the gym talking to people. You know,
Bro, 100%.
you know what I'm saying?
My wife gets fucking mad. Bro,
Yeah.
she's like, yo, you want to fucking talk? She's like, you're fucking. I'm like, I know, but like, it's hard because I get a lot of patients for the HRT clinics off of Instagram.
Exactly.
And when people ask me questions in the gym, not to say I'm a salesperson, but like, you might need me later. So I plant that seed and I'm like, so it's yeah, I'm not a professional at all. And I look at it as a very expensive hobby, right? And I'm sure you want to get your pro card, right? Like that's like the ultimate, like the check, like why we didn't get into it. We got into it because we fell into bodybuilding. We love it. But like as you progress, you see things, age acquires, injuries happen, and you're like, well, I'm not going to do this for full time. I got to do something else, whether it's training or having this or that. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like giving someone an extra little bit, but I think that's how we make our money, right?
Exactly.
That's how we do our thing, as opposed to pros that are trying to be the best in the world. So we're trying to be the best in the world just in our own world.
Exactly. So I would say Alyssa has to be that way. Same way Samson has to. Samson had headphones on, and it said like don't when he was going to the public gym, it said don't speak or some shit like. And Samson's the nicest guy in the world, right? So he's not a dick. But at that moment, when you're 4 weeks out and you're trying to be Mr. Olympia, bro, it's different. It's different. It's a different ball game.
Man, listen, for that type of money on the line,
come on, bro.
Come on, listen. If you came to my work fucking around with me, I tell you, yo, you gotta go, homie. You gotta go.
Exactly.
So it's hard, man, because it's like I feel like when you're a pro, you want to have fans and you want to perceive this nice and loving person and but like you can't, like, people don't understand these top pros. Sometimes they're dicks because they get it all day.
Exactly. They don't really have a choice. Sometimes you don't physically have the time, right? If you think about it, when I get really deep into prep, if I'm doing 2 hours of cardio, if I speak for 40 minutes, that's literally going to cut into my cardio time and my sleep. And so sometimes you can't do it. And if you remember, after like Greene retired, right, and he became like the biggest social media pro, basically, right? The guy that is, I was there. I was in Brooklyn at the time. I was living like a block away from one of Kai's apartments. So he would go to the gym. Yeah, he would come to the gym. It was a retro fitness. He would talk for an hour and sometimes just leave because he couldn't even get his workout in. But he could do that because he was no longer competing. So then people would say, "What? Look how nice Kai is, Phil. Why aren't you like that?" And it's like, because Phil's trying to be Mr. Olympia. Kai is done. I was there when Kai was getting ready for the Olympia as well, back in Fifth Avenue gym, and it was a different Kai. Kai was not talking to us, okay? Because Kai was there with Oscar Arden. Oscar isn't even talking to you because motherfuckers, they was locked in, and it was like violent. It looked like motherfucker was like he wanted to kill somebody because that's how he had to be when he was chasing Phil. Now you see the other. I'm sure if you see Phil now, Phil is gonna stand there and be like, "Hey, what's up?" and talk to you for an hour. In that moment, but we're talking about $500,000. If it was 20 grand, I still want it. I want 10 grand. Give me fucking 10 grand. Give me five. Give me $50. I'll take it, motherfucker.
Hey, I'm just trying to get it overall. So I don't know what the fuck's going on over here. I'm just trying to get some $5 trophy and overall. And
come on, man. Imagine if you had $500,000 on the line. You think you're gonna be taking an hour to talk and then leave the gym? No, bro. you gotta lock in. So I think sometimes people have to be more understanding. Same with Dexter. When Dexter was at Go Venice, nicest guy ever. But when he's a couple weeks out, he's not there to talk. Read the room, like Alicia said. I can look at you and be like, okay, today's not the day to just give him a wave like that, give him a fist bump. Don't start a conversation. You can see it in the man's eyes. He's not here to talk today. Just take I've never actually spoken to Phil. I've seen Phil a few times, but never in a scenario where I felt like it was a good time to talk. He was locked in, or whatever, whether other fans or whatever. But that's part of reading the room to understand that, so you don't have a bad experience.
It's funny. I was actually in Vegas for New Year's, and it was a pretty quick trip. We went to was it Fit Club?
Yeah.
Fit Club. And I saw Stanimal there. And we I just was like, hey, what's up, man? And he was like, hey. And I was like, motherfucker don't want to talk. Cool. Like, you'll know when someone wants to, if he's like, hey, how you doing? Or like, if someone gives you, hey, you're like, all right, keep on walking. Like, people have really bad communication. Not him. I'm just saying in general today, people have really bad communication skills and just understanding how to read people.
Yeah.
And if I don't take my headphones off and I give you one of these, but you keep coming up, like, it happens a lot. And I might be just having a bad day. Mm-hmm. And this did happen to me actually a couple of weeks ago where, someone texted me, an old client texted me, asked me, hey, do you have anyone that works on you? And right now I don't. So I didn't text them back immediately because I was doing stuff. Well, I went to the gym and he was there. And I wasn't in the mood to like go through the shit, but this is what happens. I have headphones on. He was like, hey, what's up? And he kept coming and took my headphones off. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, hey, did you get my text? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you didn't respond. I was like, okay. He was like, oh, my wife was like, damn, you're like that right now? I'm like, no, it's the fact that I just don't want to talk. I want to get in conversation with someone. I would text him later on and tell him no, but hey, we go to the same gym, so I just saw him. But if he would have never came up to me, he wouldn't have got that dick attitude because I just wasn't in the mood. So I guess what I'm saying is that people just can't read people nowadays because everyone thinks that people are who they are online as they are in person.
Yeah.
And,
You got to be able to take a hint. Going back to Stan takes his training really seriously. I don't know if people know that about Stan.
I watched him. We were in our workout. He ate at the gym. He warmed. He like did everything. I was like, damn, that's a long ass process, Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know he was like that. Not to say anything. He's not no one serious, but I didn't know he was that serious. I don't follow him too much, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I just know kind of who he is.
I don't even think he posts like that no more these days.
Okay, so either.
He used to go to Gold Venice, right?
I saw that because I used to follow Doug a lot. Doug Furche, I think.
Yeah.
Those little things. I know Don sends you clothes too from Crazy Wear.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Don sends me clothes all the time. he's a cool guy, but I used to follow Don and I used to see, I think they trained together if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he was training with Sean Roden for
like
2-3 years, but he trained with a few people there. But yeah, he was Sean's main training partner because Sean would lock in at periods of times, right? So Stan kept him locked in basically. But yeah, at the gym, Stan was all business, bro. He was all business. He was just super locked in. Like whether he knows you or not, when he's in his training, he's in his training. Before and after, he's like just regular Stan. But when he's locked in, he's there.
I gotta take something from Melissa because I gotta stop talking too much.
I'm guilty, bro. I do the same.
Gosh, fuck. I just don't know why. I don't know why. I think I just got that fucking flap on me. Just won't shut up, man.
But same here. Sometimes like I don't want to talk, but when people start talking, I get into it. Then I'm like, fuck it,
I know.
I guess we talking, you know. But I'll say when I'm deeper in prep though, I don't have it in me. Yeah, that I don't have. I just don't have it in me. You know, it's one of those things. Especially if I have a hoodie on, and sometimes we have real life too. We have a life outside of bodybuilding. Sometimes shit isn't going too well in real life, and then now you just fucked up because you hungry, you tired, mentally you off. So that's when the hoodie and the headphones on top of the hoodie comes on.
Yeah.
Just keep it.
You're
Don't
leaving
even
alone.
like.
I know.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
I think when I'm in that mode though, people at my gym at least they know they kind of
Yeah.
just from far. Yeah, they kind of.
What's your plans? What do you got going on this year?
I'm
If you
gonna
want to say it.
do. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a qualifier show. It's like 2 weeks away from USA's. Then
Okay.
I'm probably gonna do. I usually just do one show a year, honestly, but this year I want to do a handful. You know, because
Really?
every show I learn so much, but then I wait a whole year and then my body changes a bit. So everything I learn, I have to learn some new things again, right? So I kind of want to string together some shows. I don't think I've ever peaked remotely close to where it should. You know, like the look, you see a kind of look maybe 2 weeks out, and you're like, oh, this look dried out. That's the look. I've never been able to get anything close to it, which sucks. It is one thing if you get the look you want and not the placing you want. That's like you cool with that because you see everything, you see all the improvements you made. But it bothers me that I never get that peak I want. So I want to do a few shows. I think two, 3 shows, I'll be able to get a look that I'm really proud of. You know, because
Are is USA's like your end goal for the year, or do you say, hey, I just continue from there, or kind of see how it plays out?
I'm gonna do more about after you. Yeah, it also depends on what I look like, what I'm missing, the critique,
Right.
stuff like that. But more than likely, I'll do more. I'll probably do four shows, right? Because I'll do a qualifier before the USA's North Americans is not too far, and
Yep.
then I think the next one would be Amateur O,
Okay. Yeah.
and then
Yep.
Nationals in December. So I might do them all, but it depends on a lot of factors.
What? Yeah. Trust me, I hear you. I'm with you.
That's a
I'm
that's a
with
lot
you.
because sometimes
Yeah.
by the end of the prep, your brain chemistry is in a different place. You know.
Dude, trust me.
uh,
I go in a
yeah.
very, very. Man. I've quit, man. I've quit bodybuilding a few times.
Oh
Like,
yeah, same here for sure.
fuck it. Like, I'm done, bro.
Yeah.
I've, I try not to. I've quit bodybuilding with coaches, and I try not to go back to those coaches out of respect. But I have talked to them before I even actually come back and say, hey, man, I thought about it for a long time, and it's talking months or even a year,
Yeah.
But yeah, bodybuilding, your mind gets really fucked up.
100%. I gotta be
Crazy.
honest. Like most of my shows, I pretty much like retired after every show I've done in the last 3 years, probably.
Really?
But
Yeah.
I don't say it out loud because you got to keep. Sometimes you got to keep things to yourself because your mind changes, right? But yeah, that's actually really that happens more often than you think. If you talk to people in private, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about retiring," right? And you're like, "What? You? Why would you retire? What are you talking about?" But
I have, yeah.
it's part of the mind game. I think it's part of the mind games of bodybuilding.
Well, I think for myself, um, mine always goes back to it started with health, right? I actually had an elevated blood pressure, and I was trying to figure out why this is happening. And I was like, "Fuck it, blood pressure's high. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm not gonna fucking go through." Did the heart scans. I did the echo. I did the calcium scores. I did everything. I went down this rabbit hole. After months have gone by, you start to get that like Well, I'm talking to everyone, and everyone else calcium scores in the 200s. You know, you're like, and they're like, yours is 15. I was like, yeah, but it's 15. They're like, you're fucking gay. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I don't want to die. You know, they're like, no, you're fine. They're like, if I had 15, I'd keep cranking. I was like, so yes. So you get that mindset of like, you start to get scared of certain things, and then injuries happen, right? Injury prevention, you know, that's a fucking big one, you know. So mine right now is like, oh, my shoulder hurts. And it's not just like, it hurts, but it's like, you know, I have a partial torn labrum. And you're like, is it going to be fucked up like this forever? You know, my knees are fucked. You're like, well, so I think it goes back to what you said is like, we do this for a passion. We do this for a business. We do this for different than Alyssa, what she does it for a job. Like, this is it. So having her with certain tweaks and stuff, that's a huge thing for us. We're trying to accomplish something, but it doesn't hinder what we do on a daily basis.
Exactly. It's hard to understand until you start getting to like a certain age. You know, depending on when you start, it could be early 30s, it could be late 30s, it could be mid 30s, but your what you want out of life changes as well. Like things start to shift. You know, I would see guys retire like pretty early, and I'd be like, why would, let's say Ian, he retired, and he's like, what? I don't get it. Why? He's so good and he's young in it. But once your priorities start to shift, this is a really difficult sport. This is something you can only do when you really want it. You know, once you're like, yo, I think the idea of kids and a family makes me happy. It's hard to be thinking like that and then be doing this at the same time. You know, so it starts to make sense. Now I get it because I'm starting to think about those things as well. Like I think I want to do this. I think I want to do that. Then it starts to take away from bodybuilding. So at some point you're gonna be like, okay, maybe I should wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad thing neither, because, you know, I've seen some people do a lot better after they left. You know, some people, you know, it all depends where you're trying to go with this. You know, I'm always gonna love the sport. It's something that I love, but I also understand that there's other things in life that I want to do as well. You know, that's important.
Well, listen, you're young, right? You're like 26, 27?
I'm 31.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Man.
You can't tell. She looks 22 still.
I was like, man, I thought you were like 27.
I'm getting old and I'm getting injured and shit. Like a couple weeks ago, it was impingement in my shoulder. A couple days ago, I was vertical leg pressing and I went too heavy, and the weight literally just smushed me, and one of my ribs slipped. So I have like a slipped rib.
Oh man.
I literally felt it. Like I thought I broke a rib, but I could feel it like boom out of place, racked it, and now it's like it's sore as shit. But I work around it. I did back today, and there's nothing that's like limiting me, but I just gotta work around it at this point.
I think that's a big thing. Like when people, well, I think when you're younger, you'll work through it instead of working around it. And I don't think at this point, as you get older and you're into your 30s, if you've developed a good base, you don't necessarily have to, if you get injured or things hurt, so forth and so forth, you don't have to follow the same training plan. It can evolve due to injuries or things that are happening. So I think people get so stuck because, you know, you see these guys like Kuba and John Jua, they put out these training programs, right? And this is what you have to do, but they're showing you what they want to show you. But what are they doing if they're hurt? What are they doing? So that's the stuff that I like when people show, if they're have adversity, what they're doing. So work around the shit. Don't work through it. You know?
Yeah. That's important. Yeah. You get to a point where there's always something. If you train how you really want to, something's probably gonna start, you know, hurt, you know. And it's hard to get out of the mindset that you don't have to do this shit. You know, it took me so long to stop benching or stop deadlifting or start free bar squatting because I was really strong at it and it was fun, you know. But am I doing this just for fun? Like at some point, you got to be like, I got to make smarter choices. So your training almost it has to change eventually, right? Because you just can't do it anymore. It's fun though. I mean, I had the most fun ever when I had no regard for my body, when I could just do anything, bro. Just PRs every week. Just sometimes you know it's not a PR. You just made it a PR. You forced it. You know, you're like, I'm about to hit failure, so let me lift my ass up and just force this shit out. PR, motherfucker. You're like, you didn't really PR. You kind of just, fucked with the weight a little bit. Now, the last time I hit a PR on anything, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
It's really funny. Like there's a group of people at my gym. I guess they're bodybuilders. They want to be. They're older. I guess they compete. I don't know what. I'll just say it like that, right? And I see them every week, just fucking lifting heavy, doing this shit. And I'm like, man, I wish they're probably around my age, yeah.
Oh, and they're still doing that.
Yeah, they're still doing it. But this is the thing. Their bodies haven't changed. They haven't got yeah, exactly. So this is where I'm going with this one.
Exactly.
They're lifting this heavy weight, they're fucking, 8 plates on the half squash each side. Man, I wish I could do that at this point. My knees are just I'm not, I'm bruised and battered at this point. So I'm trying to get the most out of what I think is heavy. But they just don't change. They don't put on more. They don't get bigger. It's like
that's what happened.
Their body doesn't. I know, and that's one thing I paid attention to because I'm in Texas and I'm around a bunch of meatheads, and there's a couple pros in my area, and I'm like, I moved here in 2019, and it's almost as if you look worse than when I got here. Well, yeah. And I pay attention to what they do. And for instance, one dude, his chest is gone. He has like absolutely no chest, and he walks around like this because he's got a big back and he's wide and he's tall. But it's like we all know your insecurity is your chest, and you're making it even worse because you're not learning how to pull your scapula back and push with your chest. Therefore, there's no meat there, there's no muscle there, there's no strength there, and no progress. So that's why you get last place every time you compete. But again, who am I to be like, hey, I'm just gonna stay in my lane and do me, and my body changes every time I show up. So
facts, yeah. If you can notice that, how does the person themselves not notice they haven't progressed?
They are not open to
change.
I say it like this: if you want to make a change, you're gonna figure it the fuck out. When I lived in Florida, I never met DT, but I would travel down to MI40. There was Fam Tampa. Like I went to the Tampa area, the Orlando area. I fucking trained with John Meadows, Dom Cardone, Ben Pack. I looked at the people who are doing it and successful, and I wanted to know what do I need to do? What do y'all think I need to do? And I got opinions and some training stuff and trained with Terrence Ruffin and all these top guys and girls. And I took what I liked and kept it moving. And I do my own thing, but I learn. You have to want to learn. And it's some people who are like the city celebrity who think they're the shit. But realistically, when you go to the next level, which is the show or whatever, nothing's changing. So you're famous in town. That's cool, fine, dandy. But again, we're professional bodybuilders, and the goal is to get at a higher level, win a show, hell, place well at a show, get recognized at a show.
You got to catch on eventually, right? It's like, start working out, right? Let's say I'm squatting 3 plates. Okay, cool. My legs are growing. Squat 4 plates, my legs are growing. 5 plates, I think they're growing. I can't tell no more. 6 plates, this shit's not growing. At this point, it's going backwards. So what's going on here? So did you figure it out? Okay, my legs haven't progressed. The rest of my body is. I got to change something. So I'm looking at people. Okay, Wyatt got big legs. What's Wyatt doing? I noticed Wyatt don't squat no more, but he's doing a lot of hack squats. I'm seeing more knee flexion. Okay, what about I met Janicki years back, maybe 5 years ago. I'm like, he wasn't a big guy. He came up to me like, yo, you got big legs. And I'm like, how the fuck is his legs bigger than mine now? I met him. He was looking at my legs. So I'm looking, so I'm like, okay. I've noticed he gets real deep in the hole. Okay, I see this. You pay attention, and then you see what you don't do. This guy's legs look the same. What is he doing? He's just doing more of the same bullshit. He's just doing, oh, my legs aren't growing. I'm gonna just do more shitty training. That's not gonna do it. Michaela Akai, what did she do? I backed off from my stronger body parts, and then I'm doing legs 3 times a week, and I'm not really barely training upper body. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So you got to learn. You got to learn and evolve. And you're like, okay, and then you start to incorporate these things. Doesn't mean you have to train like Janicki. Doesn't mean you have to train like Michaela Aycock. But you learn things from them. I'm not doing legs 3 times a week, but you kind of learn how to prioritize certain things. You have to change to get better. You can't just be like, this is the best way to change. I'm going to train like Ronnie Coleman for the rest of my life. It just doesn't. You're not Ronnie Coleman too, so it's like you learn. If it's not working, change it. If it's working, then you're good. So I think a lot of people are they scared to change because they want to do the same shit the way they want to do it because they feel like they have nothing to learn. And once you stop learning,
they're literally feeding their ego because they're juiced up, walking around the gym in a stringer, and their veins are popping out of their shoulders. But it doesn't matter what you look like in the gym. It matters what you look like in a thong on stage with the bright lights hitting you. It's a whole different story. Story.
Yeah, you gotta learn. You gotta roll with the punches and learn. You can't be too good to listen. To listen and learn. Even if you're a top Olympian, you should still be trying to learn because nobody knows it all. And that shows. All right. What's going on in the bodybuilding world?
Arnold is coming up.
Oh yeah. I don't think we've done predictions. I think.
Oh.
Well, I think most of. Huh?
I said, all right. I like that.
I think most of us probably all of us have the same top 3, but after that is more so where we don't have the same lineups. Let me pull this up real quick.
So Samson, Derek, Andrew.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be. I feel like that's pretty secured. Hey, I mean, you never know, but obviously, if you're gonna make a bet, that's what you're gonna bet on.
I don't know about Brandon. Brandon's looking a little deadly.
He is. Brandon looks good. I haven't seen Carlos lately, but Carlos is always dangerous. Nobody's been posting pictures like that, I think.
No, I watch his. I would try to watch James sometime.
Oh yeah, I like James.
Yeah, it's just. I don't know. I mean, I love the guy. I mean, he's a fucking animal. I mean, I don't want to talk about what we're just talking about squatting 6 plates, But I wonder what's going to happen with the show. I don't know if a long flight do you guys feel like that does anything to you, like stress wise?
I think so. I think it makes a difference for sure. Yeah, if you got to fly across the country, some people more than others. James' body seems to change fast, which is not a good thing for traveling. But Boss of Outlaw seems to be good with that. He has a lot of international athletes. Fourth, anything after third, honestly, anything goes. Anybody could take those positions. Like nobody's prone to taking those positions. Let me see. I can try that.
I would like to see Carlos next to Derek.
Yeah, me too.
Just because of the height and just the bubbliness of both individuals.
Well, Carlos got him beat on the legs, that's for sure.
Bro, Carlos's legs are crazy.
Derek's back is just next level. But you know what I noticed, bro? I feel like his front shots used to be deadly. Their front relaxed, their front double. I feel like it's not as deadly. I feel like, not in this picture, obviously, but on stage, I feel like his legs look down, but his waist looks up. So I think it's taken away from that like with the O3, that crazy front double illusion with the waist into the quads. I feel like he doesn't have it as much. But I guess
I'm
we'll see.
curious to see what he looks like because of the coaching aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
You have two different coaches now, like complete difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to benefit him.
Yeah.
I just think, anytime I've had not too often, but anytime I left a coach and went with a new coach, something good always happened just because it was like new, fresh, exciting, different. And that alone just created a good vibe for the prep.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think he's vibing with Ramon and Matt Grego at his gym. He's got a good little circle with him, which that alone, I think for his camp is beneficial. But I think he's got some cookies in his system. So
Yeah, yeah. Where somebody with a good metabolism like his, Chris Aceto is great because he won't let you get flat, but he also won't let you on stage not in shape. So that's a good combination for somebody like Derek. He's gonna be in shape regardless of what people might think, but also he won't be flat. So I think that's a great combination. It seemed like a perfect fit in my opinion. You know.
You ever notice how like some people just have they can't get flat weirdly?
Yeah, some people can't really get flat.
You
I've seen
know.
that. Derek never actually looks flat until stage, but even on stage when he's flat, we only know he's flat because we've seen how his legs look. Like other than that, but like if you just look at that, he doesn't really actually because he looked huge last year. Like especially his upper body was fucking huge. It was just that we know he has more quad sweep, but even when he's flat, I mean, he's still fucking really impressive. You know. Um, Unfortunately, bodybuilding is like no, I guess it happens in all sports. When you're a top guy, sometimes people speak to you like you like a local level competitor or some shit. Sometimes, like the way they talk, sometimes is so demeaning. Like they act like you like a piece of shit because you couldn't. God forbid you couldn't win the Olympia twice in a row. You know, it's like, God damn, it's like, you know, it's a lot. They're already at the top of the top, so I think they need more grace. Um,
Yeah,
Also,
I think the problem. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, but I was just gonna say, if you look in history, nobody brings their best every single time. Guys can win the Olympia 8 times, but they only had one or two that was their best, really, right?
Right.
So it's not a thing like everybody doesn't just come perfect every year. They're good enough to win, but you can't expect somebody to be perfectly peak every time we see them, you know?
I think with Instagram is kind of messed up bodybuilding in a way. Because to build your brand, people want to see you. People want to know what you look like. People want to see your check-ins. So now they take you and they continuously judge you, which bodybuilding is a subjective sport of what you think is great. But it comes to a point where like, do you have to look Instagram ready all year round? Because you're getting judged. Like, that's what I'm saying. And when you're in bodybuilding, yeah, you might fuck up or something might happen. How many times have we just learned with Phil Heath, and not we just learned, but like Phil Heath had a stomach flu one of the years at the Olympia.
Yeah.
No one knew that going. Like at the time, you were like, oh, look at this fucking guy, but fucking
Yeah.
stomach flu, like you know what I'm saying? So I'm
Because
just saying, like people are hard, bro.
Yeah, because Phil he wasn't posting on YouTube, about what he was doing. You know, if you let's say if y'all were like if you were Miss Olympia, both of y'all or Miss Olympia, would y'all post like updates, like regular updates of your physique?
I
You would,
would.
you would.
Yeah,
I'm not ever gonna stop posting the way I do. And the way I post is probably too much and too but my Instagram is my own documentation, my own journal, and I enjoy posting. And there's a time and place where I kind of stop posting because I get more locked in with me and my coach, and he's the only one that needs to see me. It's not that I'm hiding, but I enjoy posting because it's like a diary. Like every day you just log what you trained or what you look like or whatever. But I don't think if I turned Miss Olympia, I would stop posting the way I do. I think it would be different attention and stuff, but it's the same thing. I look at Samson Dowda similarly to me because he posts a lot of stories, a lot of posts in general, and I don't think he's ever stopped posting the way he used to before. Um, so I think he's a very relatable Mr. Olympia. Other people like Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chupin, or whoever else, they're a little bit on a different level. They look more like upper echelon, like they're rich, fancy. They got the nice, fancy shit. But Samson seems relatable.
Yes. Yeah.
That's more my style.
Cause we watched him start from the bottom. My only issue sometimes is I guess the gratefulness of the fans, right? If you look at the comments, you not usually on their page. I feel like when other pages repost them, there's the higher you get, it seems to be more. Yeah, it seems to be more negative comments. Where's my dog at?
Uh-oh.
It seemed like the higher you get, the more shit talk you get, right? If I post a physique up there, it's all positive, right? Right, but but like the more you move up, you start to get a lot more negative comments. And I know it's not supposed to bother you, but I think people do look at that. You know, I think to some extent, depending on who you are, I think or depending on how much negativity you get. Samson doesn't get that much negativity though. I don't think so. But let's say somebody like Nick. Nick has been a top guy since he's been a pro, and he gets a lot of negativity. And I know to some extent it bothers him. I don't think it's not going to throw him off, throw off his prep or anything. But if you keep seeing that, it's going to fuck with your mood and your head a little bit. Even if you want to prove them wrong, that's still thinking about it to a point, right? You know, so every time Nick posts, I feel like not on his page. His page, I think the comments are fine, but on other pages, it's a little annoying how people get once you have a little bit of a drop, you know, or you miss a show or something. People get really weird about that. So I feel like it would make me in his position not want to show people too much. You know, maybe still show a little here and there, but it'll make me be like, okay, I'm gonna just show y'all when it's game time, you know. So where's this guy going? Yeah, I'm my fault. He being weird. I think he's bored. He's being weird.
I'll tell you what. If I was, this is just because this is my personality. If I was the top Olympian, very top, or if I was the Mr. Olympia, I'd be talking some mad shit.
Yeah.
I'd be tagging motherfuckers in my check-in.
keep it interesting.
Like, I would be tagging people. Like, because if I was Samson and I knew that like I'm the best, and I'm just saying this is how, because we can't do, it's like you can't do that as an amateur because you just fucking get your fucking shit waxed on stage. And I have no room to talk, so humble it is. But playing football, I used to talk mad shit. So like that's where he comes like taking your background, right? And like in bodybuilding is so, I feel like everyone's like, oh, like, you know, just positive. I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to talk shit about someone's physique, but I want to fucking see what you got. Stop posing with your fucking shorts on. Let's see what you got. Drop your shit, bro. Yeah. You know, it's like one of those things that in bodybuilding, we don't have this like banter where whether it's fun, because Phil and Kai used to do it in a sense. They just did it recently too. I guess Kai's trying to come back or whatever, but like, I want to see some people talking shit. You know, those old ass press conferences at the Olympia, they should talk some shit.
Yeah. In any other sport, that's like that's looked upon like positive, like it's promo, right? But
perfect word, promo.
Yeah.
But in bodybuilding, people kind of just call you a dick when you do that. I don't know why. I don't think that's fair. If Conor McGregor does it, everybody loves it. Oh, fucking Conor, yeah, let's go, Conor. Talk some shit, Conor. We love you, right? If Mayweather does it, well, Mayweather did it to a point that people started to not like him. But anyway, it works. Even Ali. People, nobody ever said a bad thing about Ali. Ali was cocky as shit. You know, Ali was cocky as shit. He thought all the shit. So in other sports, or even if LeBron says that he don't say, I'm the best player ever. Yeah, go. But you say it in bodybuilding, and people kind of be like, if Samson's like, "Hey, listen, I'm the best bodybuilder in the world. I'm not worried about nobody." They're like, "Whoa, take it easy."
But let me ask you this: do you guys feel like is because it's, and maybe this because I see things different sometimes, because it's bodybuilding and it's judged by an actual human on what they think is the best, you shouldn't do that, because then they might have this thought process in their brains that, oh, here's this guy, he thinks he's a cocky, he thinks, you know, it's like human nature starts to set in a little bit. Or do you think that that's not even a play?
Depends on how aggressive you are with the shit talking.
I'm saying, like, if you were aggressive, right? Like, if you were like, fuck these motherfuckers, they got shit on me.
I think that could be part of it, but I think mostly because it's our bodies is looked bodybuilding is looked upon like at like it's like vanity is involved. I don't think vanity is involved at all. I don't think nobody's doing this necessarily for attention or for anything like that. But I think that's the way it looks on, like, hey, look at my body. So I think it comes off to people like you're being a douche because you're talking about how good you look, right? But it's more about the work. No, none of us are like infatuated with our bodies to a point like, oh my god, look how good I look. It's more of a work. It's more of a competition to us. But I think people on outside looking in, it looks more like a vanity kind of thing. So it makes you look like it makes you come off as a douche to the general public. Whereas in sports, people look at it as hard work because you're watching the hard work on the stage in other sports. In bodybuilding, the hard work is not what you show, even, if that makes sense. Because if you're in the gym lifting, you're like, oh, nobody trains like this. Fucking get it. People are cool with that because they're seeing your work. But when you're standing there and you look good and you look like a trophy or you look like a statue, they're not seeing the work, even though the work went into it. So they're just seeing the body. So then it comes across weird to them. But for us, we get it. So we wouldn't take offense if, like Nick Walker, we love that shit when he talks shit. Like that's cool, But I think people take it the wrong way because he comes from a sports background as well. So I think it's a little different for him, and he gets it, So I don't know. I think Nathan Diasha tried that for a while. He was doing the shit talking for a while when he was younger, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun, but I think people take it the wrong way, because they see it as like a vanity driven sport. Maybe that's what I think. I don't know if that's true. Just yeah.
Everyone's opinion is great because in my head, I'm fucked up. So I think about some weird shit sometimes.
Yeah. I don't see any of these girls like as, obviously they're my competition, but I mean, when I'm in the gym, I'm on a different level. I don't think they're going to be training how I train. So I don't personally talk shit to any individual female. But I talk shit because I like coming from wrestling, and the wrestling is just shit talking, and they call those promos. They cut promos, and that's their job. But it's the way that they go about the promos. And I generalize my shit talking, but it's not directed at anybody because come showtime, I enjoy spending time with the girls backstage and cutting up with them because I don't see them respectfully as competition. So
I like it. I like it.
I feel like that's how you should feel, and it's actually true. Yeah, I think you could beat every single one of them personally.
I know I can. I just got to prove it.
Exactly.
But I like some shit talking. It makes it fun.
I agree with that. All right, let's. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. DT mentioned it a little bit earlier, but let me see. It'll probably be here somewhere. Do you guys think there's any truth to this? What page is this? What page am I on? I just saw it. The Kai Greene thing. I
It was
just
at the
saw
Oh,
it
top.
somewhere.
It was at the top
absolutely,
on the
Oh,
left,
absolutely
right
not.
right there. I never retired from bodybuilding.
yeah. Do you guys think there's any chance that he would actually do it, like follow through with it? And if he did, do you think there's any chance he would actually be like a top guy still?
If he would have done it, he would have already done it. If that makes sense.
I
So
fully agree with you. He's this is what I think about. I'm going back to what Alyssa says. I'm thinking about, I'm a huge WWE wrestling fan. How can I draw more hype to this? How can I
yep.
sell tickets? How can I get everyone talking? For
It's
myself, this
it's
dude
like
ain't
they're bringing the Rock. They're bringing the Rock in because WrestleMania is coming up in like the next month and a half, and
exactly.
they're using the Rock to hype it up and draw
Yep.
attention and sell tickets. And again, Kai Greene is cutting a promo right there.
Yep, yep.
He's
Well,
talking his shit.
he's been quiet for a while, for quite some time. Like he hadn't been posted for a while. So I'm sure, whatever businesses he got going on, probably was slowing down and stuff. So he knows how to use it. He's always been using it, but it got to a point where it started to backfire, and people were just like, "Yo, fuck this guy. He keeps dangling this fruit. We're not gonna ever talk about this guy again." So he gave it a long, long break because he knows how people think, right? Long, long break, and then now he does it, and people are right back to how they were. They stopped. Now it's like positive again. So I'm sure he had a good team as far as business and posts and social media. So I think he's gonna draw this out forever. Like, I mean, nobody really knows how old he is for sure, but I would say he's close to 50, if not
Oh,
50,
I think he's 51. I think
Yeah, there you go.
when he
So
trained at Redcon, I talked to him a few times,
mhm.
and he's still big,
Yeah,
but he doesn't like the training is just weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would watch him train, and I'm like, he's not really doing much weight. He's just doing a lot of stuff. It's weird, and I'm not talking like really not a lot of weight. Like we said like, oh, he's going lighter. No, no, for real. Like he's just moving.
supersets.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
weird shit. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody to the gym about that before he even said this, and the guy was like, "Yo, why does Kai stay so big? Like, is he gonna retire? I mean, is he gonna come back or something? I don't understand. It must be super unhealthy. He's probably running a lot of gear." And I'm like, "Is he big? Yes, but this is nothing compared to how he used to look. People don't really understand how he used to look, so they think this is like close. This is nowhere close. I would guarantee you that I wouldn't be surprised if he was on nothing, let alone TRT. He doesn't need anything to look how he looks right now because I've actually seen how he looked at his prime, and just because he I don't know how much he weighs. He could be 270, 280. It's a complete different look. He used to weigh that on stage, first of all, right?
Yeah.
So off season, he was over 300 at 5'8", and full set of abs, everything, lines in his glutes, the whole nine. So it's like this is not even close to what he looked like. It's just hard to understand because if you're looking at him walking around the hoodie, you'd be like, oh, he's still big, but it's a complete different ballgame. So he's nothing like he used to be. It's not even close, So I don't think he's come back at all. But if he did, he wouldn't. But if he did, it would be no. Like, come on, bro. Like, how could you think somebody's gonna be 50, hasn't competed in almost like 8 years, is gonna come back and just go back to the top? Like, the
If he
nostalgia thing gets too far, right?
if he did, we'll play CP. If he did this year, let's say right now, where do you think he would stand?
I don't think he would stand at all.
No.
Honestly, no, no. It's not realistic for us to even think that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like being like nobody would say, "Yo, if Jordan came back right now, he's gonna give work to John Morant." Nobody would say that because we know that's not how the body works. But in bodybuilding, we hold on to that. We think that they would. Like Kevin coming back, I think he's gonna do well, but it's just not how Father Time is undefeated. Nobody's gonna defeat Father Time. It has never happened. It will never happen. But I think we believe that because of nostalgia, because we like these people. Realistically, no, I don't think he stands a chance against any good lineup. Honestly, if I'm being honest, But what do I know? Right?
What
You
I
know,
think about Kai is like back when he was like with the Oscar Arden and like that old school video where he's prepping and it's just him and Oscar training and doing the thing. Like I think the survival lifestyle of what bodybuilding gave to him and it produced. I think me, you, Kai Greene, anybody that used bodybuilding to kind of survive and live off of. I think no matter what age we are, we're always gonna do what kept us alive. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't. Yeah, you. It's not like Phil Heath. Phil Heath probably he still trains and he's got his girl and stuff, but I'm sure Kai is still doing fasted cardio, maybe eating
I think
meals and
so,
just living the bodybuilding lifestyle because that's just what's embedded in him.
for sure.
And then he
Uh,
uses the little promos to just bring that attraction. But I saw him after the New York Pro, and he saw me. He talked to me for a second, and then that was the night after, like right after finals. But the next morning, I went to go do a photo shoot with this guy, and I walked into the gym, and I saw Kyle. I was like gonna say what's up and do the whole attention thing, and then he was like on the phone, and I was like, "Yo, my bad, my bad. I'm gonna leave you alone. Like I'm not trying to be that person." But
yeah.
he's still in the gym first thing in the morning. Like it's just literally a lifestyle. That's
I don't think he's ever going to stop that at all. I don't think he's ever going to
no,
stop that.
no.
I think that's
And
a
I don't
lie.
think I will either. I think even when my career is done and over, I'll be 60 years old, waking up wanting to go for a walk. Like it's just a lifestyle, and
Yeah,
everything has order to the bodybuilding life, and it
we
keeps
don't
me on track mentally.
we don't know how to stop it. You know, I literally tried to stop it. We talked about the retirement thing. I retired. I retired for a year, and I was like, "Damn, what do I eat? I guess I'll have a bagel." And he like, you have to eat protein carbs. Like I don't know any other way. I can't just wake up and have a bowl of cereal. It was weird. So then I was like,
Yeah,
I think I want to have salmon and rice. Yeah, I don't have salmon and rice. Let me have salmon and rice. Then it becomes chicken and rice, then salmon and rice, then it's the same shit. Then I end up having 5 meals a day. So it literally turned the same thing. Then I'm like, I don't have to work out today, but I want to. Let me go light. I don't want to go light. Let me put a little more weight. Do you end up doing the same exact shit anyways? Even though you thought you were burnt out, I'm burnt. I don't want to lift heavy right now. I'm burnt out, and you do the same thing because we don't know any other way to do it. So
I'm
that,
going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to take a little bit of that.
yeah,
You're like, what am I doing? Dude, I'm doing all the same shit that I would do. I thought I was going to quit.
bro.
Yeah. And trust me, I know.
I came completely off cycle, right? I'm like, wow, I thought I would feel like shit. I feel kind of good, but I'm like, yeah, let me add a little TRT in there. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm only gonna feel better. Then I'm like, 300 is still TRT, right? Yeah, let me boost it up. But you, you just revert back to the same tactics. So it's like
That's
you can't help it.
that's it, bro. And that's I think we make bodybuilding. Bodybuilding does not make who we are.
Facts. That's facts. Yeah,
And that's a big thing that we all need to understand.
Yeah,
A lot of people call themselves bodybuilders because you have the definition of bodybuilding. It is building your body, right? When we talk about bodybuilders, we think about competing.
yeah,
So like, you're not a fucking bodybuilder, like these TikTok kids.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a whole nother story. But
We got into it for different reasons too. So we got into it because we actually love this. There was no you you didn't get into it for any like clout or attention because it wasn't cool. When I was in high school working out, people weren't like, "Wow, you're cool because you work out." It wasn't a thing. It's cool now, So now people are getting into it because they think they can be that other person. They think they can be the Trent twins or they think they could be Sam Sulek. So there's a different reasoning. Whereas for us, it was really we just enjoyed it. We enjoyed training. We enjoyed the lifestyle. and competing. We competed. Like people say, I think Brand said that we compete because we love training. We didn't train because we love competing. You know,
Right.
there's a big difference. If you're only doing this for the glory that you think you're gonna get, it's a very different experience, right? We don't we didn't expect any glory. We just I like this shit. I'm gonna do it. You know, so y'all want to do a few questions before we head off?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let me see.
P.S. I saw Seth Feroce yesterday, and even Seth, like he traveled down here to Corpus. He did a little guest appearance for the supplement shop. And even him, he was like, because I left him alone while he was training with his group of guys, and because I was in the middle of my session. But I was listening to some things he was saying, and like the guys were saying they wanted to do certain machines, and Seth kept saying, "What about dumbbells? Y'all don't want to do?" He just kept bringing up like he was like saying what he wanted to do, and all the guys aren't catching the hint that the dude wants to go do dumbbells. They're like, "No, let's do this machine." I'm like, bro, y'all are not listening. This guy wants dumbbells in his hands. Like, but that's just the old school, hardworking motherfucker that Seth is. And it was just cool to see because, again, I felt very relatable to him in that time because he didn't give a shit. He was ready to fucking train. And I'm just thinking to myself, this dude just traveled from wherever he lives, flights, staying in a hotel, still in here getting after it. So,
Yeah.
and he's retired.
You see, yeah. Get that man some dumbbells.
I'm good.
All right. Optimal. What's the optimal nanogram test levels for muscle growth? Have there been studies on that? On what?
What's a nanogram?
I would say the optimal test levels for muscle growth would, I mean, people, I don't know how you could verify that in the sense of like you're gonna gain muscle if you take this.
Okay,
Because-
isn't it funny? Don't you find that the people that actually do this, we don't think about this kind of shit.
I was gonna say, what's the question again? What's the question?
What's the optimal nanogram test levels for muscle growth? At no point did I lift weights and thought,
Yeah,
is
no.
my nanograms per decimeter where it needs to be right now?
I run 2 HRT clinics. I don't even think about that. Like I just try to get my patients to an optimal test level.
For like life, yeah, for like living, but for muscle growth, but I'm sure there's people who can build muscle off of a fucking 50 test level. Some people might 1,000 test level barely build muscle. I mean, I don't not
I like
not
the
to
question, but I don't like how like
not to judge your question too harshly, but honestly, I don't know the answer, but I don't think the answer really matters. You know, if you're if you're natural, get your test levels checked if you want to, and just see if they're in normal range, just normal range of the human, not like Ronnie. You got a Ronnie Coleman range. I don't know, just normal range, and then go from there. Just how long have you been trying to build muscle? First of all, have you tried before? You know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, yeah,
just try. You know. I mean, we just got up and started lifting some shit. We didn't really think about that beforehand. And when it was time to go enhance, we just went on bodybuilding.com or some shit, and that was about it. We didn't think too hard
on
about
the steroid.com.
Oh, yeah, me too.
What is this? Like, and they had all the profiles on the left side.
Oh, that shit was helpful, bro.
Hell yeah.
The beginner cycle was like 500 E or C. I was like, oh yeah, and they were like D-ball for the first 4 weeks. You saw that shit. Yeah,
Fucking
like,
banging.
okay. And I was like, I'm not gonna try this yet, but let me see what the advanced cycle looked like. But damn, 1,000 shit. Okay.
How do we get this shit now?
Yeah. And I was like, what's GH? So that's growth hormone? 4 IUs? I don't know how to get that, but
oh man, I'm working at GNC. I gotta sell some more protein.
I don't know if I can get my hands on that GH, but fuck it. Let me start with the beginner cycle. That was it. That was it. There wasn't as much information, so we didn't get confused or think too deep. We just did what we could, you know.
Yeah.
I got my first test bottle. I'm like, damn, I can't afford another one. I'll just cut the cycle short. 5-week cycle. It's fine. I don't know. I still made some gains, you know. Yeah. Maybe it's good to be a thinker, but don't think too hard. You know, just sometimes you gotta just do things.
Work harder than you think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shout out to Chris for that question. We didn't mean to be too so harsh. Does birth control affect drive? My girl literally has zero drive. Damn.
Yes.
You gotta,
100%.
oh, it
100%
does?
it does. Yeah, no, for sure. Birth control is probably one of the worst things for women.
Or like it kills your sex drive?
It will fuck your sex drives. It fucks up menstrual cycles. It puts you in a menstrual cycle. It makes you feel.
The mood
It
too.
makes you. It fucks your hormones up. I advise all women to
not do it. To not do it. Yeah.
To not do it. Talk to a doctor first. But from personal experience, yeah, it's actually really bad for you.
Damn. Well, yeah. Tell your girl to come off the birth control and just work on that work on that pull-out game, or
man,
wrap it up.
just wrap it up. I know it's not as fun, but
yeah,
we all adults, so we gotta find ways around it. You know, protein from red meat versus chicken and turkey. That's not some. There's more fat in red meat usually. I've heard there's more creatine and B vitamins and shit, but I don't really think about that. I gotta be honest with you. Once again, why not?
I think red meat's good for if you want to call bulk, like if you're trying to bulk up. I think that's a good protein source. But I lean down on a lot of red meat too, like fucking tacos. 3 of my meals are red meat. Only one's chicken. But when I'm trying to like lean out and deplete real hard, I'll switch to chicken.
Yeah, and you don't have to pick one because I have a beef meal, I have a chicken meal. I don't like turkey though. I don't have a turkey.
I did it. I prepped with turkey one year. I'll never use it again. You know why I did that? Because Nick Walker was doing it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, he got that 99-1. Shit, me too.
People who don't like fish usually do the turkey, right? Because you can get like 99 lean turkey, right? Ronnie said he hated fish, so he always did turkey. I hate turkey, so I'd rather do fish. You know, turkey is just like
it's rubbery.
I eat it every day.
Oh my god! Oh,
but I do it differently though. Like with how I do it. Well, not now because my diet's changed, but how I was doing it before is I would just do turkey and almond butter together with white rice. That because Nick Walker, I saw him do it, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting, and I fell in love with it.
That sounds different.
And then he puts the banana and cinnamon with it.
Yeah.
So I use peanut butter now. If I was gonna do it, because peanut butter just gives it another, little tastiness to it.
Yeah. It sounds weird to like the untrained ear to hear some shit like that, but we've been in preps long enough to know in a prep setting that savory, sweet shit, all the weird shit, that shit is good. That shit is good, I was having oatmeal or cream of rice with my chicken like mixed together, and I thought it was great in prep. Just I like that contrast for some reason. Something about that, and salt. Put some sea salt on there. There's something about that. Salty, sweet. You got savory. I mean, I don't know. I like that shit in prep. Well, I'm doing it. Right now, I'm doing grits and chicken for meal one.
That's good. Grits are good. Grits.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then the way I cook the chicken now, it's not. People talk about how dry it is, but my chicken's not dry. I don't. My shit is.
That's just because people can't cook.
That's really what it is. Yeah, It's now if you don't cook the chicken right, it's gonna be dry as fuck. It's gonna fuck up your teeth.
Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be a nightmare. All right. Can we start? No. That's it. Has anybody else used BioLab GH?
No.
I use Serostim.
Oh shit. They sponsor me, so I feel like if I give an answer, it'll be biased.
Oh no, don't give an answer. Me personally, I just use Serostim.
I did go look at the website though. I just wasn't sure because is it out of country? Are you able to order it to the US?
Yeah, it gets here like in 2 days. I don't know why or how, but it's overseas, but it gets here like they do some kind of express shit. I don't know, fucking bullet train. It gets here super quick. They got their
The
own private jet.
the
You know,
price isn't bad. It's like
not at
one. It
all.
was on sale. I think it's like 190 per kit.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, but have you ever tried generics, DT?
Yeah. Oh, this is a recent thing.
Okay.
This is a recent. I used to take generics all the time. Serostim is. I've never felt this way before.
See, I tried a kit or two of Serostim, and it felt great. But honestly, it was in prep. It was in prep, and in prep, it's harder for me to really know how good it is. But just because I discontinued the generic to do it, so I felt like I I kind of expected to see more of a noticeable change for me to say, okay, it's worth it. But I just didn't see anything that made me say, okay, I want to switch to this. Not that I would have switched because I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
pay the money, but I just didn't see it the way I wanted to see it. You know.
So I feel like the reason why I talk about this on my IG, and I'm never as you see on my IG, I talk about a lot of shit. So and I'm real with like people on my dosaging because I don't have superior genetics. Like I do take more because I can handle more. My blood work comes out fine, but I'm up to 9 IUs of Serostim right now.
Okay.
So that's a bottle in 2 days. So it's a
you feel
lot.
great.
Yeah. Honestly, when I take it right before bed,
Me too.
fucking gone. Gone.
Yeah. Not
And it changes the physique.
nine isn't too crazy. At least I guess from my point of view. If it depends who you ask, some people think that's a crazy dose. So.
I know.
Yeah.
I get so much fucking hate, dude. So it's like,
Really?
oh my God. Me?
I've heard so much higher than that. I've heard a lot higher.
I get every time I post online, I get hate.
Okay. Well, I think because people will be like, well, Samson's taking 4. Why aren't you bigger than Samson? It's like that's why I'm taking more because I'm not Samson. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
If I was fucking 350 pounds on 2 IUs, then I would be taking 2 IUs, but I'm not. So
I'm sure there was a point in time where he took more.
Yeah, but well, I mean, okay. Let's say if he didn't, what did that have to do with anybody else? We're not him. So it's like, let's say if we didn't take any GH, well, congratulations, but that's not making us bigger because you do that, right? So any day,
people associate these compound numbers with what they think in their head is a lot. It's just like weight. If you're picking up, let's just say 405 doing a deadlift. Some people might look at that and be like, that's it? Or some people might say, that's a lot.
Exactly.
What if you did that and you could do it for 20 reps and then another person can only do it for 1 rep? Or they get hurt doing it. That's kind of you start thinking about it like the blood work. How much can you handle? You might need more and you might be able to handle it because your genetics are worse than the top guys. You ever notice the top guys have that's too much for me. Oh, you're a fucking hyper responder, bro. Look at you. You're a fucking freak.
That's why you're a top guy. That's literally why you're a top guy.
Exactly. That's the fucking thing, man. After a certain point, with all this, like, if you put your cycle out, people are like, oh, look at you. You were 230 pounds on stage. I'm like, yeah, bro. You get lean enough. You get on stage. Like, then you do it. I want you to take fucking PEDs for 10 years, and I want to see what you look like. Because, your fucking private, your profile's private. Sorry, forgot. It's the same shit, bro.
That happens to Chase a lot too. Chase, like, he taking all that, he looks like that, and it's like, what do you want? What would you like for him to look like, sir? What would you want him to look like? Well, he should look like this guy, and it's like, why? Well, because he's taking. What does that have to do with his body? It has nothing to do with his body. So it's like, first of all, everybody can't even handle that. Some people couldn't even handle the doses he takes, but it has nothing. There's almost no correlation. Like what do you? So would that mean that okay? So do you look at a lineup and say, let's look at the Olympia lineup, and we're gonna guess how much people take, right? If we did it that way, then fucking Samson is taking 5 grams a test, right? Because you're gonna start from the bottom. You're gonna say who's the smallest guy. Okay, he's taking 1,000. So then it just that's not how it works logically. You take more, you get bigger. I wish it worked like that because shit, I just take more.
Fucking huge.
Exactly.
Huge.
But that's not how I would argue. It might work better the opposite way. You start from the top. They're probably taking less than the 16th place guy, realistically, because that's the one trying to catch up. He's already up here. He don't need to take more. He's already the champion. So if anything, there's a better chance of it going the opposite way. But it doesn't make you less of a okay. You don't work for genetics, right? You're born with it, right? So why do we praise it so much more than a person trying to get there, right? You were born that elite, but we almost respect that more than the person working in spite of his genetics. Did that make sense? Wow, this person is so. Look at his physique; it's crazy. Yeah, but what about this person has to do twice as much to get half the results, right? So how are you shaming the less genetic person? And does that make sense? Like you didn't have to do anything to actually be the genetic.
Yeah, they shame the less genetic person because they feel that if they can't live up to the standards of the top genetic person, then they shouldn't be doing this at all.
That's a horrible way to look at things. Yeah.
But how many times have you heard like, well, you don't have the genetics for it. Why are you going to compete? Bro, you know how many times that I've sat here and people told me I'm not going to be this and I'm not going to be that. Even my own family has told me that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be a bodybuilder. I'm like, so I shouldn't do it because your opinions are going to solidify what I should do or what I should become.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't use that logic in any other part of life, right?
I don't give a fuck with anyone else. That's why I post what I post.
Yeah.
Like, that's why when you think about it, like, and we talk about like business, I post what I post because it draws money.
Yeah.
And if I worried about other people's opinions, and if I worried about the judges' opinions at my shows, if they're not going to like me for being too open.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you going to do about it?
Whatever, bro. I got to go to work on Monday. That's what I got to do about it.
What if I told you, hey, yo, DT, I want to start a podcast called Fit Nation Podcast, and you're like, bro, you'll never be like Bro Chat. You'll never get 100,000 views. So just don't even do it. If that sound advice, yeah.
Oh, fuck that, bro.
I want to start a website. I want to start a business. Oh, you're not gonna be Amazon, so just quit. Don't do it. It's like that doesn't apply to any other facet of life. If you can't be the best in the world, don't do it. Just give up. It's like that's a silly way to think.
Yeah. What if you didn't want to be the best in the world?
Good point.
What if you just wanted to do this because you actually love it and see what happens? If I don't get a pro card, I don't get one. If I get it, fucking A. My life won't change.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay,
I work for myself. I could make just as much or probably more money working a job as well. But I want to work for myself. It doesn't mean that I necessarily want to make more money than somebody else's business, right? I just like working for myself. That's the way I like to do it, right? Is that wrong? Should I quit and get a job? I mean, it's so that's a strange way to think, but maybe take your own advice. I mean, maybe you should do that, but that's not how other people's lives work. All right. What was the question? I forgot. What are you talking about?
Well, no, that's what happens with me.
I was trying to remember it, but y'all were talking about the amount of gear that you take or whatever. But I would think that let's just say a smaller stature guy isn't going to need the idea, I don't know, but I would think a bigger guy like y'all two would need more gear just because you have a bigger frame to fill out and
Body.
you're a bigger human being, therefore you might need some more gear.
Some truth. There's some truth to that. Depending.
Just like y'all need more food, or
Yeah. That to me is like when Lee Priest talks about his cycles. At his height, I don't think you need as much gear because you don't need as much muscle because at 200 pounds you look fucking huge, right? So if you're a shorter guy with shorter limbs, like shorter arms, shorter legs, I don't think you need it. I would assume you wouldn't need as much gear or food. That's what I would assume. If you're 6'3", you're probably gonna need a lot more gear and food to fill out that frame. So there is something to be said about overall size, but sometimes genetics is just genetics as well. So it is what it is. All right, let's do one more. Does weed have any place in bodybuilding? It can.
That's a personal choice.
Yeah, that's a person. I can't.
See, some people can't. Yeah,
fucking can't. Think I'm gonna die every
you get
time.
anxious.
Oh my god, I've learned my lessons.
I think I know more bodybuilders that smoke than don't.
Yeah, Yeah.
Some are public with it, some aren't public with it. But people smoking, bodybuilders smoking for sure.
There's more bodybuilders smoking cigarettes than there is weed.
There are some cigarette smokers for sure.
And it's the people you wouldn't think, too.
Yeah. The weed is like more so, at least for me, to like relax my brain at night. I think my brain just has a hard time relaxing. And there's other ways you could go about it, but I don't want to go about it that way. To me, weed is something that I can incorporate and not get side effects or like build patterns with it. Just me personally. I'm not saying everybody's like that. So I've been recommended medication, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Fuck that.
Even Blackstone had the product, but PJ told me don't use it all the time. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna use it like maybe end of prep when I really, really need it just to function. Yeah. But he's like, don't just use it all year round. And I'm like, okay, so the chances if it really works well, you probably don't want to use it all year round because But and that product does. I've tried it. It works really well. It's called anesthesed, right? DT, that called?
Oh shit! Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, I took that before bed, and can't do it either.
Yeah,
fuck, bro.
so I'm not. Yeah, so
I don't want. I can't do shit like that.
I try not to, bro, because I feel like it's gonna build bad habits for me. I mean, you could argue, but what about the weed? But I just don't. I don't have to smoke weed neither. I don't smoke it every single night, but it does help. It works for me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I think if anything, if you do have that active mind like that, it's free to bring you down and kind of bring you down for the night and let your system relax. I think that's great. I wish I could, but I wig out.
Yeah, I don't do that thing.
Ooh.
One of my friends, I saw him at the gym. I think that was yesterday or the day before Friday. I hadn't seen him for a while, and I was talking to him, and I noticed he was different. He seemed a little different. He seemed sharper, more focused. I just got the impression that he seemed different. And he told me he quit weed, and I think for him it was a great choice. He was smoking all day long, every day, and you knew he was high. If you saw him, you was like, I think this guy's always high. So for him, I think it wasn't a good choice. He's not a bodybuilder. He works out, but he's not a bodybuilder. So everybody's a bit different. You have to know yourself. I don't have that. Like, you're not gonna see me say Brady's high, and I'm not smoking throughout the day anyway. So there's anything in excess can be bad. Let's say that.
Sure. For
So
sure.
I don't think weed is good or bad. It's how you use it. But the question is, do they have a place in bodybuilding? Um,
I think it does. If you can't
appetite,
eat. Yep.
appetite is sleep. You
Yep.
know, I guess that would be the place. But to each his own. Make your own choice. Don't let us influence you one way or the other. Do your thing. You know. So
Yeah.
if you if you ask in general, I would say try to take the least amount of drugs you can, if possible. That would just be my general statement. But if you into weed, more power
Yeah.
to you. Do
Go
your
for
thing. Go crazy. All
it.
right. I think that's it. Y'all want to do one more, or y'all good with that?
Whatever you want.
Do one more. Do one more.
Right. We didn't do honor predictions, right? That's a couple of the questions. Okay, let's finish with that then.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to do. Let me put up the line. Y'all remember the lineup, the entire lineup? I don't think I do. Let me see if I
Negative.
remember. We remember the ones that we probably think are going to place there, but
Yeah, that's the only thing.
because I was going to say top six, and I'm like, let me make sure I remember them.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good show. Really good show.
I think it'll be. Oh, it's next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's this
damn, my
weekend.
friends.
This weekend,
Huh?
right?
In
It's this
6
weekend coming
days.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's my friend's birthday. I gotta go to the party. All right, fuck it. It's two of my friends' birthdays actually. I gotta miss one party, but I don't want to miss both. But fuck it. All right. I might miss it for the Arnold. All right. Let's see. Oh, y'all can see my page, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's start with Alyssa.
Oh shit, Bonek, I forgot.
Hey, Sean got fifth at the last Arnold, right? He plays behind Rami, which means he beat Akeem last year.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
did Bo, did Bonac do that, Arnold? I think
I feel like Bonek does every Arnold.
yeah. That I think Sean beat Bonac as well. I think Sean beat Bonac and Akeem last year because he got fifth. And if it was was that last year? Who won?
No.
Oh, last year was a hottie. I'm thinking about 2 years ago. I think. I'm thinking when it was Samson, Nick, Andrew, Rami, and Sean. I don't remember who did the Arnold that year. I'm sure Akeem. I feel like Akeem and Bonac do it every year. So don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that means Sean already beat Bonac and Akeem before. I don't know if I'm accurate with that, but I just want to keep that in mind because nobody has Sean in there. But I'm like, well, he did get fifth,
He looks
So
damn good this year too.
In 22, Sean didn't do the Arnold. So it's probably
23,
23. Probably
23,
23.
yeah. The year he did do it, I just don't remember who else did it because depending on who he beat that year, that could be a big deal. Because I don't think anybody thinks he could beat these guys, but if he already did, then that kind of changes it. You know, we know how good of a bodybuilder he is, but because of the structural size, I think we just don't think he could hang with them. But you found it.
No, I'm trying to like
It's hard to
figure
find
that
some of these
out.
lineups. But all right, but let's start with Alyssa.
Ah,
Who you got top 6, 4, 8, 12? 12 people.
let's go Samson, Derek, Andrew, Curry. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go Clarita and then Akeem.
So you said Samson, Derek, Andrew, you get
Brandon,
Clarita? Brandon?
then Clarita, then Akeem.
Clarita, Akeem. Okay. That's pretty solid. That's
I mean,
pretty solid.
honestly, I think that, I mean, 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 honestly, I think that, I me maybe I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Clarita and Brandon could potentially even beat Andrew. It just depends on Andrew's condition.
Well, Brandon did beat him last. He was sick one year and beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should have beat him personally, if I'm being honest. No offense to Brandon, but he did beat him that year. He was sick. Clarita,
Based off of Andrew's
hard.
past, Andrew, I don't know. Andrew could fall in the 4th or 5th spot as well. Like, I don't know, but I'm gonna have him in 4th for now. I mean 3rd.
What you got, DT?
I do got that 23 lineup right here.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
It was Samson, Nick, Andrew, Big Ramy, Sean, and Akeem.
Ooh.
So Sean did beat Akeem.
That's hard. That's hard to do. Like Akeem gets sometimes gets the short end of the stick, bro. Akeem is in shape. I mean, the last time he hasn't been in shape has been a long time ago. Akeem has been in shape for some time now, but just because of that early memory, we're hard on his condition. You know, maybe he doesn't have super thin skin, but Akeem is in shape. So if Sean beat Akeem, that's a big deal. That's not easy to do.
Throughout that time period when I was or how many? What are we doing? Top 5?
Top six.
Top 6. Okay.
Wait, what was Bornak in that lineup? Or Bornak didn't compete that year. Probably
yes,
not.
he was in there. Yeah, he was there.
Shit.
And Justin Rodriguez was there. And I don't know what the fuck that is. Kamal, sorry.
Wow. So Sean beat Kamal, Bonak, and Akeem. Granted,
and Patrick Moore.
That's impressive. Bonak that year wasn't his best for sure, but that's still very impressive. All right. DT.
So I have to do the Samson.
Mm-hmm.
After Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Going Andrew Jack.
Yep.
I'm going to go right after that. I'm taking Sean. I'm going to put Carlos.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I'm going Akeem.
That's pretty solid. So Akeem is 6 in both of you. Okay. Oh, this is harder than I thought, actually, because when Alyssa went, I'm thinking, yeah, I agree with that. And then when you went, I was thinking, yeah, I agree with that. So now I'm like, which one do I agree with?
I just think, man, I'm sorry, Alyssa, I wasn't listening to you. I was trying to find that thing. What was your lineup?
She went
Samson, Lunsford, Andrew, then Brandon, Clarita, and then Akeem.
Okay.
That's solid. All right. I'm not gonna say the top 3 because I think we know what the top 3 is. So I'm gonna start at 4th. I'm gonna go. Damn. I want to say Sean, man.
Sean looks gnarly right now. He has a whole different look, and it's insane.
I'm taking Sean because it's a proven record. Like the dude just shows up, and I think of last year, whatever happened between whatever, I think he's like, yo, I'm gonna show everybody.
Yeah,
have you seen him?
Not in person, no. When you see online,
his recent updates are insane. Like right now, it's a whole different look. Looks crazy.
4th is flimsy. This entire lineup can be 4th. Like everybody else, like how many people? Like there's like 4 people that could be 4th. I mean, I want to say Sean. Over Curry and Bonak is difficult. I know he beat Bonak that year, and I know Bonak beat Curry last year, but they still those guys, man.
I think with even I was watching a podcast with Bonak. He's like, yeah, my body's just deteriorating. It's just time, like we said. Yeah. Justin Rodriguez,
his body went backwards.
Sure. Patrick Moore.
It hasn't went frontwards. Let's say that.
Right.
You know,
I know John De La Rosa. He's a friend of mine, and he's down here in South Florida, and I'm sure he's a friend to everybody's. He's just that nice of a guy. I think he's in that between of like he's built back up, but like how much do you go? How much can you go? You've been doing it for a long time. Does it continue to get fresher and better?
he's not doing it though. From
Oh, he's
what I
not.
understand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, from what I heard, they put him on the poster just because they assumed he was going to do it for some reason. But
Right.
he never actually said he was. He never actually agreed that he was going to do it. He never told him he was going to do it. They just, I guess they figured, we're going to sell the posters. Just throw him on there.
Yeah, put it on.
Did he get back to you? No, just throw him on there anyways.
Oh, fuck it. And then you got James. James is I think James is kind of a toss up. You know,
I forgot about James.
James is. I think it's a toss up because he's done his own stuff. Then he got a coach, and then he didn't. He went back and forth. So
yeah.
So who you got in fourth, Beatty?
I'm gonna say Sean, but this is flimsy right now. This is flimsy. I forgot about James. This is flimsy. I'm gonna go Sean.
I love James. He's just a little structurally.
yeah,
I don't know
for this lineup. Fucking
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sean, and I'm gonna go Carlos. I know this is rough because Bonac and shit. Curry's Miss Olympia, Bonac, but still, I'm going by right now. The past is the past, right? So 3, 4, 5, and then sixth place. I'm gonna go Curry.
Okay.
So that's basically DTs, but Akeem and Curry flip.
yep.
I guess that's this is flimsy, but it's the best I could do. It's hard. You literally have to see them on stage to know.
Yeah.
For fourth through eighth, we don't know how they're gonna come to stage. We can say, well, usually you'll be like, well, what about their best? Well, Bonac and Curry can't be their best no longer, right? So that goes out the window. We could say Carlos at his best, or we could say Sean at his best. But I don't believe Bonac and Curry. I'm sure they would tell you the same thing. I don't think they're gonna be their best again at this point. So shit, Curry at his all time best could fight for would be in the top 3 at least. So that's the issue. So I think there's a much better chance of Carlos being his best and Clarita being his best. So that's why I got them there. But all right, guys. I think that's a wrap. Gotta go eat this. Gotta go eat this chicken and grits.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to train. So,
thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.